Hi friends, welcome back to Imagination Station.
At the North Pole, it was baking day in Mrs. Claus' kitchen, and the air smelled like sugar and cinnamon. Two mischievous elves, North and Snow, were ready for a big challenge. Today, Mrs. Claus announced with a smile, "You'll be competing in my cookie recipe challenge. You'll each bake a batch of cookies using my special recipe. But there's a twist. You can add one secret ingredient to make it your own." North and Snow's eyes lit up. "We're ready," they said in unison. Mrs. Claus handed them each a recipe card. "Follow the instructions carefully," she warned. "But remember, the best cookies come from a mix of skill and creativity." The elves got to work. North was focused, measuring the flour and sugar precisely. "Baking is science," he muttered, leveling a cup of flour. Snow, on the other hand, was dancing around the kitchen, tossing ingredients into her bowl with flair. "Baking is an art," she said with a twirl, spilling a little cinnamon. When it came time for the secret ingredient, North chose finely chopped peppermint candy. "This will add a refreshing crunch," he said confidently. Snow rummaged through the pantry and pulled out a jar of sprinkles. "Rainbows make everything better," she declared, dumping half the jar into her dough. As the cookies baked, the kitchen filled with delicious smells. But when the timer dinged, the results were unexpected. North's cookies looked perfect, golden and crisp. But when Mrs. Claus took a bite, her eyes widened. "Peppermint candy is tasty, but you forgot the baking powder. These cookies are as hard as Santa's sleigh bells." North groaned. "I was so focused on the science, I forgot to double-check the recipe." Next, Mrs. Claus tried Snow's cookies. They were soft and colorful, but when she took a bite, she started giggling. "These are fun, but a little too sweet. Did you measure your sugar?" Snow shrugged. "Measuring isn't my thing. I just followed my heart." Mrs. Claus smiled at the two elves. "Both of you made mistakes, but you each brought something special to your cookies. Baking is both science and art. Why don't we combine your ideas?" Together, they reworked the recipe, adding just the right amount of peppermint and sprinkles. The new cookies came out perfect, crispy, colorful, and delicious. As they shared the cookies with Santa and the other elves, North said, "I guess baking is more fun when you mix creativity with careful planning." Snow grinned. "And a sprinkle of teamwork doesn't hurt either." Mrs. Claus raised her teacup. "To the best cookies in the North Pole and to learning something new." The end.
Like, subscribe and share for more.